Today on Meet Your Body, we're talking about one of the most important things when it comes to you and your relationship with your body. Here we go. Hi, I'm Jessica Valant, a physical therapist and Pilates teacher, and I'm here to bring science-based knowledge, understanding, empathy, courage, support, love, and hopefully some fun to the journeys we have with our bodies. There is hope and strength in your body, and my goal is to help you find it. So today we are going to talk about what it means to feel safe in your body and how that is one of the main keys to moving forward with whatever kind of movement goals you have for yourself. So I have worked with thousands upon thousands of clients as a physical therapist and a Pilates teacher over the years. And at the most basic level, it comes down to movement, kind of dysfunctions or injuries or pain and disease, those kind of things. So we do an assessment, we take objective measurements, we come up with a plan, and we move forward and adjust the plan as needed. That is basically kind of what we're taught in physical therapy school and what it looks like from a most basic level. I have always known that there is more to that. There are many, many factors that come into play, more so than simply do this many reps for this many days, or lift this, don't do this. There are so many gray areas. There's so much nuance around healing and progression and all of those kind of factors. And it's really only been in the past few years that I've really been able to verbalize for me what one of those main factors is with my clients. And it comes down to feeling safe in your body. So today I want to talk about 4 different things related to that topic. First, what it actually means. So what I mean when I say I want you to feel safe in your body. Second thing, why that's so important. The third thing we're going to discuss are the various reasons that we might not have that feeling of safety in our own bodies. And then lastly, we're going to discuss actionable steps and things that we can do to start to feel that safety and ultimately feel some freedom in our bodies. So first off, what does it mean to feel safe in your body? To me, it means a few things. One is that you can trust your body. You trust it to respond in a predictable way. You trust it to give you signals that you can interpret or adjust for. You trust it to work the way you think it should. Basically, it comes down to like when you turn on a light switch and you know the light is going to turn on in that predictable way, right? You trust it's going to work the way it should. It's predictable. There's a cause and effect. You kind of want that trust in your own body. And we're going to come back and describe all of these a little bit more. Another aspect of feeling safe in your body means to me that you feel freedom in your body. And you can really kind of feel this, I think, and internalize it if you imagine what the opposite of freedom is. I am guessing you may have at some point in your life, and maybe even right now, have had the feeling of chains in your body, meaning you are stuck. You are maybe stuck in a prison cell of that body, not having the freedom to open the door, walk out, try new things. I want you to be able to try a new fitness class if you want to. I want you to be able to choose to walk up the bleachers to see maybe your grandchild or your own child play in a high school soccer game without being afraid that you can't make it to your seat. I want you to be able to go on a hike if you choose to. I want you to be able to get on an airplane and put your suitcase in an overhead bin. I want you to feel the freedom that it comes when you have that safety and trust in your body. For me, when I'm working with a client, my ultimate goal, I tell them, is for them to feel that safety and freedom in their own bodies. And I want to really point out that that doesn't necessarily mean that you're able to do everything that you want to do. So my own example is I, as you know from my health history, My most recent surgery 3 years ago was a hysterectomy and major prolapse repairs. And I am on a lifetime restriction of not lifting more than 50 pounds because of those prolapse repairs. So I obviously have a very clear limit of what I can and can't do, but I don't feel restricted by it. I feel freedom in my body to work within those restrictions. I can go, let's say it is a new exercise class that I choose to try. I feel free to go because I know what I can and can't do. I have freedom. I feel safe to try new things within the boundaries that I feel I have. I feel super safe modifying as I need because I understand how my body acts. I know how it might react to a certain movement. So that is what safety and freedom is. It's basically not ever feeling like you are held back because of what your body may or may not do. It's being able to have that freedom to work how you choose, try new things, have that predictability of how it will respond, even within certain limitations that you might have. And so one of the biggest hurdles I see from my clients is just not knowing what they can and can't do. I see it over and over again. It's so understandable. People come to me and say, I want to move. I don't know how because I'm so afraid of making this worse. I just don't know what I can do. And that, again, is another really good example of feeling that safety and freedom in your body, that you simply want to know what you're able to do, what you might not be able to do, so that you see a clear plan going forward. To me, that is what it means to feel safe in your body, that you have a general sense of freedom and peace and recognition and trust in your body and the signals that it is giving you, how it is speaking to you, how it may react, and the relationship that you have with it. And I really want to point out here that while I'm talking about feeling safe in your body in a very general level, I know there are people in the world who truly do not live in safe situations, and you might be one of them. There are some of you listening right now who may be in war-torn countries, who may be living in dangerous situations. And please know that this podcast is not in any way meant to gloss over those very real issues. You need to do whatever is available to you to truly feel and be physically safe. So we will put some resources and crisis links in the description below. So feel free to reach out for those and know that whatever situation you are in, I truly want you to be safe first and foremost. Let's talk about why it's so important for you to feel safe in your body. I know many of you might have been in this place of not trusting your body for as long as you can remember. Like, you might not even remember a time where you did feel free or you did trust your body. And so to think of a way of living that is opposite from that might be very foreign. And it might even be the fact that you're having thoughts of, why does this even matter? This is how I've always lived. My body's not my partner. I don't trust it. I never will. So I want to talk two perspectives of why it's so important. So one, we're going to talk about it from a stress kind of perspective. So let's say you, in the past, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, you were foraging for food and a bear came out. You saw this bear. Your body goes into fight or flight. And most likely, you're going to go into flight and run from that bear, right? So you go straight into stress, straight into anxiety, straight into fight or flight, and you run and you run and you run. You end up in your cave. Whew, you're safe. You calm down from that. The stress has left your body because research shows us that we need to physically move in order for that stress to leave our bodies. So we run, the stress is released, we move on with our day. That was hundreds of years ago. But let's talk about what happens now with stress. We don't tend to get stress from bears chasing us anymore. We get stress and anxiety from life, right? From social media, from the 24-hour news cycle, from sitting at our desk all day and reading emails that aren't always the nicest things to read, from relationships, from taking care of elderly family members, from job changes, from everything that's happened over the past 3 years in our world. All of that causes stress and anxiety. The problem is, to our body, there isn't a clear reason for that stress. Yes, again, it could be any of the things I just listed. But again, from a very physiological perspective, it's not a bear. So we don't run from anything. It's not a clear reason. We don't run. We don't move. We don't release that stress. So we hold on to it. It stays in our body, and we start to see long-term issues from holding on to that stress. And again, that could be from something in the last 3 years. It could be from something from your childhood that you might not even really be able to put a finger on. But if you have held on to that, and it has then caused you not to move because you don't feel safe in that movement, then there's no way that your body has been able to release that stress, if that makes sense. So yes, there's other components to this. Yes, there's therapy. There are things that we need to do to take care of whatever issues we have with our bodies. And movement is actually one way that we can release some of that stress. So when we hold on to it, it stays with us. And that has a very clear relationship to us not trusting our bodies. We end up not moving, and it becomes a cycle that we fall into. So that is the physiological part that can occur, that can really lead to us not trusting our bodies, not feeling safe, and then end up again with us holding on and internalizing stress and anxiety. Another piece that I see on why this is so important is more how it plays out in real life. So what happens when you have any kind of incident in your past of not trusting your body? This could be, again, a story that you have told yourself from when you were young. This could be even a classmate in elementary school turning to you and calling you knock-kneed, right? Or anything, or carrot top, whatever kids tend to say to us. Those things really can run deep, and we can hold on to them. It's another piece of the story we tell ourselves for years and years. Or maybe, like me, you've gone through something like infertility. That was a big one for me, feeling like I can't trust my body. I absolutely can't, because it doesn't work the way it should. It doesn't work how other people's bodies do. I've done this for it. I've followed the rules. I've done what I was told to do, and the right thing didn't happen. Or maybe you've tried an exercise program, one of these overnight success things, and that you see social media images of everyone else seeing success and you don't. You end up not trusting your body to, again, in air quotes, do what it should, or do what you've told it should do. You feel like you put in the work, the right thing didn't happen. So what happens? All of those things lead to us freezing. We simply stop. And that is what I see over and over and over again with my clients. Again, it's not a matter of willpower. It's not a matter of wanting it badly enough. It's not any of those things that diet culture tells us, like, I can do it, you can do it, drop your excuses. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that you have tried something in the past. It did not work the way you feel like it should, or someone told you that it would. So you lost trust in the process. You lost trust in your body. You stopped feeling safe within it. So then you just simply stopped. You stopped moving. You stopped trying a new exercise program. You stopped going for walks. You stopped putting yourself out there. You stopped going to the gym. You stopped trying a new exercise class. You stopped buying new clothing. You stopped because you lost that trust, either because of something externally happening or something internally happening. And that is a hard place to come back from. I know. And that is ultimately what I feel like my job is to help my clients, to help you Find the trust and safety in your body again so that you can take that step forward and simply move. You can start moving again in whatever way is the first step for you to get out of that feeling of being frozen and to feel that trust. I know I keep coming back to it, but that's really what it is, that you trust yourself to make that first step, no matter what else anyone says around you. You have the internal barometer to check in with because you believe your body again, you believe what it's telling you, you know how to interpret it. So that is why this is so important. We want to move so that we can release all the stress that we might be holding in our bodies from living in this 21st century that we live in. And then also we need to get unstuck and move forward simply when we have that trust and safety in our bodies again. And there could be many reasons why you don't have that trust in your body. We have pointed out and touched on a few of them, but I'll go through some here as well, as maybe some of them might kind of ring a little bell for you or might feel familiar. One is you might have a true trauma in your past, a true physical trauma, a true emotional trauma. That is something that definitely can be in your body that you come back to. I highly recommend that you find a good trauma-informed therapist. There are many of them out there. There are some great resources to help you with that. But again, don't brush over the fact that you might have a true trauma in your past and it might be having a big impact on you feeling safe within your own body. We also might not feel safe in our body because of stories that we were told as a child. We touched on some of these as well. Things that we may have been told on the playground, things that we were told by doctors, things we were told by our parents. This could be verbally. This could also be non-verbal things. So we might not feel safe in our body from any kind of narrative that we have told ourselves since we were young. It might just be that we've tried things and it didn't turn out the way we thought it would, which leads to us feeling like our bodies aren't predictable, right? There's not a clear cause and effect, which leads to feeling a little bit scary and a little bit unsure of what our bodies will or won't do. We might not have liked the outcomes we've seen in the past. It is very common for us to look back and say, you know what, I tried that. I tried and I tried and I tried and I put my best foot forward and it didn't happen the way I thought it would. This didn't heal. The pain didn't go away. The weight didn't come off. I still had to have surgery. I still didn't get pregnant. All of those things are really common and they can lead to a lot of feelings of not feeling safe in our bodies. We might even see other people and compare ourselves. That is a big one of why we don't feel safe in our bodies. We compare ourselves to everyone else we see. Our neighbor down the street, the people on social media, all those darn before and after pictures that are out there that I wish we could ban. We all compare ourselves to them and we all think, well, that wouldn't be me, or that wasn't me, or I wouldn't look like that. That leads us to also feeling not safe in our own bodies. We're trying to get external validation for something that has to come from an internal feeling. So we have to stop comparing ourselves. And we're going to talk more about that in a little bit here. We also might not feel safe in our body because we are stuck living in a body that we think we used to have, not what we have now. And I'm going to tell you this is a really big one. It happens to many people. We think back so much on, well, I used to feel like this. I used to be able to do that. I used to be able to fit into that. And we get stuck thinking that was the best place. That was the safest place. Instead of trying to recreate that for how we feel and the body we have now. For me, my biggest example about this is after I had my prolapse surgery. So prior to my prolapse surgeries, I lived with major grade 3 prolapses for 3 years, which means, to be completely honest and transparent, I had a bulge coming out of me for 7 years. And there were certain activities that would make that a lot worse, like heavy squats and certain things like that, lifting my kids. After surgery, I woke up with no bulge. It was gone. And for at least 2 years, I was scared every single day that it was going to come back. Every day. I would do certain movements as I built my physical abilities back up. And I would have to stop and say, oh my gosh, is that what I feel? Do I feel a bulge? Do I not? I don't know. What is it I feel? What's this? Should I stop? I would go through this daily because I was actually stuck living in an injured body from before my surgery. And I did not feel safe in this new body that I had. I did not know how to move safely. I was so afraid of making it worse again that I would easily have just frozen and stopped doing anything. But I knew that that was not the right answer. And so it was a daily thing that I had to work at not being afraid. I had to tell myself actively, nope, that's not what you feel. It's okay, try again. Nope, that's not what you feel. It's okay, let's try again. Over and over again. So many times we'll get stuck in this body that we used to have, and we have to really work and mentally step away from that to realize that's not my body anymore. This is. How do I feel safe now? Not then, now. A final reason we might not feel safe in our body is that we've just never taken the time to actually listen to it. To actually sit and say, what are you trying to tell me? What are you telling me? Not what are all these images around me telling me, not what are these stories from my youth telling me, not what are family members and friends and even doctors telling me. What are you telling me? What am I telling myself? It is so important to really listen. And a lot of times we don't feel safe because we just never have. So finally, we get to talk about what we are going to do about this. Here is the good part. Here are the actionable steps that you can take today to start feeling safe in your body. I know we've talked a lot about why this is important and what has led us to this point. And no matter where you are, okay, no matter how old you are or how long you have been in this pattern, the great news is that there are things you can do to start to break it right now. And it is important to do that. It is never too late. The more you start to feel safe and develop that relationship with your body now, the more you will see results going forward. And that is why I wanted this to be the second episode of this podcast, because it is so important to start to have this realization, to start to have this relationship of safety in your body, for everything else to start to come together. Everything else we talk about and the tips we give and the information and the uplifting stories we share, it will be more effective when you have that safety relationship and that freedom in your body. And please don't think this is an overnight thing. It is a lifelong work every day to continue feeling it. But the more you do it, the more you build this muscle and make yourself start to talk through it daily, the more you will start to embody it. I promise. So the first thing that you are going to do, you're going to turn off this podcast when we're done chatting today. And the first thing you're going to do is start to talk to your body. Okay? You are going to tell your body that you are safe. When you start getting those signals, okay? Signals of anxiety, signals of, well, I can't wear that to that fitness class. Signals of, well, I couldn't do that because so-and-so told me when I was young I couldn't, so I can't. Or signals of, oh my, I'm really afraid because I tend to get knee pain when I do squats, so I'm just not going to do anything at all. When you get those thoughts and those feelings and those signals, the first thing I want you to do is realize it's actually your body's way of trying to protect you. Your body is trying to protect you from whatever outcome it thinks might happen. So the first thing you're going to do is say, body, thank you. Thank you so much for trying to protect me right now. I understand why you might be giving me these feelings of anxiety or stress or fear or whatever they are. I understand and I appreciate it. The thing is, I don't need them. I'm safe. We are totally safe right now. We're just hanging out. We're about ready to try this workout that looks pretty darn fun. So we're in a safe place. So thank you. But I think it's time that you can be a little quiet with this because I believe that we're going to be okay. We can do this together and we can come up with another more appropriate response. What if we put on this playlist and we have a little bit of fun with it? Does that sound good? All right, awesome. Thanks for taking care of me. We're going to be good. So I know that might sound silly, but it is so important and so valuable when you first off thank your body for what it's trying to do for you. Like that is a real light bulb moment for me, realizing that any kind of anxiety I feel is actually my body trying to protect me from something that's not truly there. So I tell it, that's not there. We're safe. That hasn't happened. That won't happen. We're in this together. Let's do this. So start to talk to your body, and the more you do that, the more you will believe it. Another thing is stop comparing yourself. Just stop. You got to stop it today. And I know it's hard, but I guarantee you this will make so much difference. You have to stop comparing yourself to who you used to be. Stop comparing yourself to the body you think you used to have. Stop comparing yourself to the people on social media and the people on the front of magazine covers and the people you see on YouTube and the people down the street and the people at kid pickup and the people you work with and all your family members. Stop. You are you. You are unique, and that is an absolute truth. It is not a cliche. Every body is different. It does not help to compare because it truly does take away your own joy and power. But also, it's just pointless because what works for one person might not and very well may not work for other people. There is nothing out there that is a recipe for all of us because we're all different. So stop comparing, get rid of that, and then start really focusing on what will work for you and the body that you have and the history and experiences that you have. Another thing you can do right away is experiments. Try things. That is part of that, like little baby steps into freedom in your body. Try things and write down the results. Write down the outcomes. Don't judge any of it. Just take notes. Say, you know what? Today I'm going to try this 10-minute Jessica Valant Pilates basics workout on YouTube. I'm going to try it. And afterwards, I'm going to write down how I feel. So write down how you feel right away afterwards. Energized, awesome, encouraged. This was really hard. I didn't like this about it. Whatever, 30 seconds, write it down. Then also write down the next day how you feel, 24 hours later. I still feel energized. Now I feel my leg muscles. That was a little sore, but it's good. Whatever it is, or this actually did make my knee pain a little bit worse. I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow. Write it down. The more you take notes, the more you are getting valuable, solid information from your body, which will make you trust it more because you can look back over time and see patterns. You'll see, oh, I always feel really good after that workout. And then I notice that I always get some muscle soreness the next day, but I actually never have more knee pain. Cool. And sometimes by writing it down, you'll remember it correctly. So whatever it is, whatever experiments you do, look at it that way, very objectively, write it down, start to really notice some patterns. Another thing that you can do right away is use your brain. So this is one, and I talked about this a little bit, this is one that I do a lot continuously. My body might tell me something during a workout. And for me over the past 2 years, it's, oh my gosh, is my prolapse coming back? Because that is my fear point I have to work on. So doing squats, oh my gosh, is that my prolapse? What do I feel? So I pause and I use my brain to say, okay, I'm doing squats with only 20 pounds of weight. That's not very heavy. I know that I'm allowed to do this. I know that I'm doing it with right form. I know I'm not too tired from a workout the day before. I know I'm only on my 5th repetition. There is no reason that this should be causing a prolapse. Now I'm going to check in. Is that what I really felt, or did I actually maybe just feel this instead? I use my brain to talk myself through all the steps, to give myself logic, and then I keep going. Okay, so use your brain to talk through it. Again, doing a single squat without any weight at all. And you say, oh my gosh, I think it's too much. Use your brain. Say, you know what? But doing a single squat without weight is what you do every time you get on and off the toilet. And you're able to do that. So I bet you're able to do one more of these squats here. Should we do it together? Yes, let's do it. So a lot of times you do need to use your brain to talk over some of those signals when you don't quite trust your body yet, or you don't quite know what it's telling you. Another thing to do right away, change your expectations. Don't expect things to work right away. I think that's a big reason we don't trust our bodies too. We hear all of these messages, which by the way are crazy, that tell us this works overnight, do this in 10 days, only this, bikini body in 6 weeks. That is crazy talk. This is a lifelong journey. So get rid of those expectations that your body should, I'm saying that in air quotes, should be doing something for you right away, because it usually can't do that. Our bodies take consistency and patience. Those are the two most important things that you can do to develop trust and safety in your body. Be consistent and be patient. This is a relationship that takes a long time to build, and every day is important. Just imagine if you do have a real life relationship with another human that you are trying to build, right? You wouldn't do just one big conversation one day and be like, yes, we're best friends forever, I'm good to go. That's not how it works. You would send letters on their birthday. You would send texts every day or every other day, just maybe a sentence. And then occasionally you'd meet up for coffee. It is a regular thing. It's a give and a take. That's how it is with your body and building that relationship. And the more you do something, the more trust your body will have in doing it, and the more safe you will feel in your bodies. If you've been a client of mine, you know I say that. I give people exercises and I tell them to do them over and over and over and over again till you are bored of it, because that is how the body becomes safe and trusts itself to do that movement. Then we build the next movement on top of it. So be patient and be consistent. I hope this talk about feeling safe in your body gave you some really actionable steps for you to move forward and start to develop that relationship and feel like you can trust your body and find freedom in it. I know that it's easier said than done. I know that it takes time. It takes that patience and that consistency. And I promise you, it is the foundation of other things that you will do with movement and with your relationship with your body moving forward. So take one or two things from today, start them right away. See if you can start feeling a little more of that safety in your body. And I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Take care. As always, thank you so much for stopping by today. If you have a moment, please rate and review this podcast, as it helps us out tremendously. For more workouts and resources, you can come over to my website, my YouTube channel, or join my unlimited community. Links for those are below.